Well, it was a weekend in the Premier League. Basically, all the games were chalk. City beat somebody. I don't remember who. Tottenham lost. Chelsea drew, and Everton won. So yeah, pretty chalk weekend. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you're hearing this from, thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from four friends who support different clubs. I am James, and I support Arsenal, the team that I couldn't remember lost to Manchester City. Below me is Sean. He is a Tottenham Hotspur supporter.
Leeds.
He's always
Leeds supporter.
Leeds supporter now. Brad, next to me, is the biggest Olivier Giroud fan in the world, and he supports Chelsea.
Giroud.
And down diagonally from me, that sour-looking face belongs to our resident Liverpool supporter and probably the most pained man in world football right now, Tamzy.
All I feel is pain.
Pause. And I would say this, Giroud's just not my favorite striker. I believe he's Red Card Radio's favorite striker.
He is our he is our hands down most beautiful striker. Like, without question.
He's the striker we root for the most.
Yeah, true.
I think.
Yes.
Patrick
Yes,
Bamford.
that's a good way of saying it.
Well, just because Chelsea continually do him dirty, but they just always do him dirty, and he's always like 2 feet out the door.
He's always their best player.
Exactly.
He's been their best player for like 4 years.
Exactly.
He's only been with his squad for 3 years.
It's like,
I know
He was your best player when he was playing for Arsenal.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he was still your best player when he was on
no.
Arsenal.
that's true.
I mean, you can say he was our best player last year and this year.
All right, I'm gonna quickly pull up the Premier League table so we can take a look at that. But of course, City's still on top. I mean, honestly, like the league table hasn't really changed much.
Fuck is a league table. We're here for Champions League talk.
Yeah, I mean, basically. But you guys can see if you're watching us on YouTube. But City's at top. United, Leicester, and West Ham round out the top four. Chelsea's up to 5th. Liverpool's in 6th, followed closely by Everton, though Everton have a game in hand. Arsenal dropped out of the top 10 today because Leeds won, and now they're both equal on games played. And if we look down to the bottom, interesting fact that I didn't realize about the bottom of the Premier League table, I thought that Fulham were super dead and like there was no way of catching anyone. But Newcastle is actually only 3 points above Fulham in 17th position after their loss to United at the weekend. So you never know. Maybe the great Fulham escape still happens. Who knows?
Well, you forgot one position down there, 21st, Tottenham.
There's just are already relegated. With what are you 36 points and already relegated is what you're saying?
They're about to just who's leading the championship right now? They're about to just bring them up and send us down. Just
banish Spurs to the championship.
We got to start with 0 points down there.
That, I mean, I'd be okay with that. You don't get it twisted. But as we normally do here, we talk about teams in their league position. And since Manchester City's on top of the table, we're going to talk about the Manchester City Arsenal game first today, which is ironic because Arsenal are the least amount of points out of all the four of us. But anyway, I digress. But so things we want to talk about today: Arsenal, Manchester City. That
you're telling me we haven't won a game since Christmas, and it's March.
Yeah.
And you still haven't eclipsed us.
Well, to be fair, I don't know how long your run of form was, but our run of form was at least 10 games where we got 5 points out of a potential 30 points from.
Oh, lit.
So that one was. But so things we're talking about. We're talking about Arsenal, City, West Ham, Tottenham, Southampton, Chelsea, and then Everton and their glorious victory over Liverpool. Then we're talking a little bit about European football before we look forward to this weekend, the slate of Premier League matches, which I was talking with Sean about before we started today. I think are all very interesting games. I think every game this weekend coming up could be talked about for one reason or another. But we start at the top of the table with Arsenal hosting City. City won 1-0. Was that what we expected? Everyone kind of no. Okay, it's a no from Sean. What were you expecting?
3-0, 3-1.
Okay.
So I was actually impressed.
Okay. Yeah, I share that sentiment.
Because it wasn't like they got that. It wasn't like they got that 77-second goal and then parked the bus. Shout out to mine. I know exactly what that looks like when you get the first goal early and then just no attacking. That's not what City did, and yeah, so I was impressed with the defense for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it makes the loss that much more frustrating that it was a single lapse in concentration, like 75 seconds into the match, that caused City to take the lead. And then another added layer of frustration is that like 6'2", 6'3" Rob Holding doesn't head a ball out, and like a 5'6" Raheem Sterling scores a headed goal right behind him. That's very frustrating. But generally, I was really happy with the way we played, with the way Arsenal played. In terms of like a holistic approach to the game, we didn't look like an 11th place team taking on the eventual champions, in my opinion. I think we looked much better than that. And, we didn't create a lot, but City, of course, they have the best defensive record in the league at this point this year. They're a very good defensive team. And so, against like the best teams, you're not going to create a lot. But they also didn't create a whole lot against us either. So it was a pretty interesting defensive game. And this game definitely spoke to me in a sense that like it looks like Arsenal are a team that are like on a path to getting better, but they're just like wildly inconsistent, and then like one little mishap will just derail a game. And so maybe I'm tooting my own horn or like getting myself gassed up over this, but which is probably very likely that I'm gassing myself. That it kind of reminded me of like Klopp when he first came to Liverpool, and that like Liverpool were wildly inconsistent, and that's why you guys didn't finish well in the first few seasons, or not where you wanted to be finishing, and that kind of I wasn't super disappointed after this game, but
the only season we were horrendously inconsistent was 15-16, the year Leicester won the title, where we finished 8th but made the 2 finals. Other than that, we were pretty much going every year to whatever we were supposed to be going to. I need this narrative to stop. Like, you guys can't keep excusing your shitty managers.
No,
like comparing them to Klopp. Listen, okay. There's four individually bad performances. Mignolet in the League Cup final, Alberto Moreno in the Europa League final, Karius in the Champions League final, and Dejan Lovren at City in 1890. And if those 4 individual games don't happen, Klopp wins every trophy. And the idea that he is like an eventual successor as opposed to instant success is eradicated. And so I need everybody to get that. Like, no, like we need to nip this in the bud now. Like,
I'm gonna disagree with that in just a second. But hold on, he got hired in Liverpool in 2015.
15-16, November 15-16.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna take me a second.
Yeah, you're not gonna find you're not gonna find your way out of this.
Wenger was still Arsenal's manager. Conte came in that year, correct?
15-16 is the year Conte. Leicester won. Yeah, 16-17 is the year Conte came in. Liverpool finished 4th. Went from 8th to 4th. The year after that, we made a Champions League final. Finished 4th, but we made a Champions League final, losing our best player in the process.
And then next year you won.
Next year we finished 2nd, won the Champions League. The year after that we hammered the league, and currently going towards relegation. Dude, I realized at the end of the Everton game we finished with 40 points, so we can't get relegated. It's the best.
Yeah.
We're finishing.
Yeah,
we're finishing.
40 yet? No, still in relegation zone.
Right. We're at the very least finishing 16th.
All right, Tanti. Think about Liverpool in 2016, 2017. You guys finished fourth. You said this was the year before. That was the year you guys were in the Europa League final, right?
No, 15-16 we were in the Europa League final.
16,
Right,
17.
yeah, that's what he said.
Where did you
16-17 we didn't play any Europe.
That's
16,
right.
17.
That's right. Okay, that's
We
right.
were just our only goal was to finish fourth in the league, and we
you
finished
did
fourth
that.
in the league.
You did that.
Yep.
Thinking, I don't know if this is really fair to you, but thinking about your performances week in and week out in that season, would you say that they were consistently good?
We had one, yes, because we were title contenders until January, and then we lost Joel Matip and Sadio Mane to AFCON, and we just didn't have the depth at that point to play. We just genuinely didn't have backup players that, because we only had a squad of 15 players. James Milner was playing left back, which he's still doing now. Shame. But and so we ended up tailing off and finishing fourth, as opposed to actually being title contenders. Because in the end, Conte ended up walking the league. Because that was Guardiola's first season too.
Yep.
And he ended up tanking. Baldy spent 100-something million on players, and none of them are here anymore.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna make that point earlier about you said something about City's defense is the best in the league, and I was just thinking, well, if you spend $500 million on the back line, it better be good.
It better be good, right?
Wait.
But still, yeah, that's their MO. They spend a lot of money, so they're good. But it is what it is, right? But I'm not that disappointed in.
I mean, I
Arsenal's
agree with your
performance.
general point that Arsenal didn't play poorly. Yeah.
Okay,
They weren't bad, but
I will retract my statement of comparison against Liverpool, but it's kind of true of teams that are building to something that they tend to be inconsistent.
yes.
And so I retract my statement about Liverpool because clearly it was wrong. Clearly it was uninformed. And my memory was not serving me well in that moment. So I apologize. Klopp is the granddaddy of us all. He is very good, and he is clearly the best manager in the league, and he's clearly going to win the league this year.
We're gonna get a relegation and a Premier League title on our CV. Beat that. Beat that.
Well, let's talk about another legendary manager. That would be the manager of Tottenham Hotspur, Mr. A one Jose Mourinho. Explain that loss to me, Sean. What happened there?
What's to explain? We suck. No, the backline's just not good enough to play what he wants them to do, and he's not. Of course, he's not going to adapt. It's just not good enough.
Okay.
As it current stands, there's your analysis. I don't even know how to describe it anymore.
So
they seem uninspired or broken down or something. There's no spark in the team. They're probably tired because they don't have any depth. I mean, he mentioned was that last game or the game before where he mentioned? Oh, that was the City game where he said, I'm not super mad at the guys. They were tired
after 60 minutes or something like that. But okay, So do you think that Tottenham overperformed in the first half of the season in that they scored a lot of goals and that Kane and Son were just out of their mind and that they overperformed and that now we're coming back to what Spurs are coming back to where they belong?
Well, we're heading towards where we belong, which is the bottom. But
it's the most pessimistic.
No. I think people were just seeing how Mourinho would use Spurs players, and then realized, it's the same as he always uses, and just now they just know how to defend it. So that's why there aren't opportunities coming out. Is what I feel.
So teams have just figured out what Mourinho's trying to do.
Well, they've done the same style for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. So you have no hope left for the rest of the season. It sounds like.
No, what would you?
I mean, I generally don't think I don't think Arsenal are going to finish in European spaces, but I don't know. You guys aren't that far off.
Well, what I would say is, with your new manager and my new manager, you said building towards something is inconsistency.
Yeah.
Well, we're apparently not building towards anything because we're consistently bad. So
But
that's
this
not
is the
building.
this is the trophy season though, so you'll end up with the EFL Cup.
But they won't, though. City are going to slap them in the EFL Cup. Just what City does.
Yeah, you have hope for that game, Brett? Did you watch last
Listen,
weekend?
I have hope, and I'm with you. I agree, but I have hope in the Mourinho second season cup. That always happens.
No.
Is this going to be the year that Big Sam gets relegated and Jose doesn't win a cup?
No,
Yep.
because Big Sam's going to quit.
Big Sam's gonna quit. Yeah,
If
Big
you
Sam's
were-
gonna quit in like a couple of weeks.
Honestly speaking, Europa League's probably our best shot at a go. Because it's not going to happen in the League Cup, even though we're already in the finals, so that's tough to say.
I don't think any of it is Mourinho's fault,
I agree.
per se,
It's Levy.
or no, it's not Levy's either.
You don't think so? Let me hear this.
So there's a current situation going on where there's two different. So there's two different types of players. This specifically applies to forward line players. All right, there's entertainers and there's stat merchants. All right, and the entertaining players thrive off of crowd support being around. Like whether it's to prove crowds wrong or to be like the center of attention in a crowd, right? Like these are like your Sadio Mane, Aubameyang, Bergwijn. Bergwijn is not a bad player at all under any circumstances. He is fantastic. He was great for Mourinho when he came in last year in January, and he's still a good player. But it's like to them, this is just an extended training session. They can never get in the zone to perform the way they used to. This is what's happening to Sadio Mane right now. He can't do anything because to him it's like another training session. And then there's these stat merchants who get like obsessed with like numbers. So to them, nothing changed. To them, they just go in and they bang in their goals as it. So that's like your Kane, that's like your Son, that's like your Salah. They don't care about crowd noises or anything. And the team that benefits the most from not having to go to away stadiums is Man City. I said at the start of the season, these robots have the best advantage because they don't have to go away to like tough grounds. Like they don't have to go to Bramall Lane. Like look at Sheffield. Sheffield are shambles, but last year they were like dangerous at home. Like you could not beat Sheffield at home, right? And so like that's something that has to be taken into context. That's why I don't think it's like fair to just level that shit at Mourinho and just be like, well, it's because he's shit.
Yeah, I think
No,
that
it's the team shit, not him.
I mean, yeah, but like a lot of your attacking players can't perform because they're just not mentally there to perform.
Well, I guess I alluded to that. I think you gave voice to what I alluded to, that we just look downtrodden,
Yeah,
tired.
like, it's
it's something.
not- yeah,
It's just not inspired play. They look not bored, but they just look despondent.
Players like Kane are always like Kane was always motivated by personal accomplishments. Like he didn't care if you didn't win the like. If he cared about winning a trophy, he would have squared it to Sterling in the World Cup. That's it.
Yeah.
That's just it. If he cared about winning a trophy, he would have squared it to Sterling in the World Cup. But he did it because he doesn't. Kane is more motivated by like individual accolades, how many golden boots he can have, etc. Right? And so these players are not affected by the fact that you're just playing an empty stadium. Right? Like
I think that the point I was trying to bring up about like coming back to the average is that if you look at Son's goal production for the last many years, I don't think he ever got above 12 or 14 goals since he's been at Tottenham. But this season, like he got to 12 goals incredibly fast, and he hasn't been scoring since. Like I think he's at 13 or 14 goals right now.
Nobody else has been scoring.
But what I'm saying though is that he and Kane they tore the league apart in the first 3 months. Like they couldn't.
Kane was leading assists.
They couldn't stop scoring, and now, like I'm wondering if they way overperformed at the beginning, and this is more indicative of the team that
like
Spurs
the
were
rest
at
of the
beginning
team's
season.
confidence is low too. So it's not like the ball is going there. as frequently as it was.
Yeah, of course.
Before.
Football is a team sport, so it's like holistically like issues in the squad. And yeah, I get that, but like, I'm just wondering if they've come back to where they're average, where they should be, if they were overperforming before and now they're more. And I was wondering about. I was trying to think about your point about players who get up with crowds.
Because like the biggest victim of that is Aubameyang.
Yeah,
right. Like Aubameyang thrives on being like
what are you
in a crowd, putting a mask, jumping over. Like that's his like thing. Right?
Yeah. Why are you going to do a front flip with nobody in the crowd? Right.
Nobody's in the crowd.
So
right?
yeah, like I can totally get like thriving off of energy, and like I totally see that as a thing, but you would think that would affect everyone equally. Like that they're and maybe it's different. Like some teams, like you said, that the robots from Manchester City are just going to go. But I wonder if that's more either the players that Pep is looking for or the type of culture he instills.
Well, it's because Pep is the type of manager who demands automation.
Exactly.
In its absolute. So
it's more of a
that's why I like
thing.
City. Right, no, but like, yeah, I mean, kind of, but it's like the way he sets up. It's like you have to do this, and you win. And if something goes wrong in that plan, they collapse as a whole.
Yeah,
right. Like that's why City keep losing in like Champions League games because something goes wrong, which he didn't account for, and then his whole team falls apart because none of them have any idea what else to do. Right, because he drills that shit into them every day. Like you do this. That's why like De Bruyne looks so bad playing for Belgium. You just don't have that kind of time playing for your national team, right? Like you just don't have that kind of like you just don't have that kind of time. Gabriel Jesus is one of the worst strikers I've ever seen play for Brazil. He scores 20 goals a season for Man City. How can he not? He can't score anything for Brazil, right? Like he's currently doesn't even get picked for the Brazilian national team, right? Like. It's like that. Like they're the players that City have are like very much more dependent on Guardiola telling them what to do at every stage than like.
I think,
and that's why like
he's a perfectionist.
He's a perfectionist.
Yeah, and everything and he said this in press conferences in the past that like. I'm like they'd win a game or something like that. He'd be like, I'm really unhappy because we didn't play the way I wanted us to play. And things like that. It's like it's always like this is my vision for football, and if we're not doing my vision, then we're doing it wrong, regardless of the outcome.
He benched Henry at Barcelona. That's like the funniest story that Henry tells when he's like, oh well, he told me that I have to make this run down this channel all the time, and Henry's saying like, oh, and in my head, I've scored 200 plus goals. Like I know how to do this, so I cut inside, I shoot, I score. And the next game, I'm on the bench.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I would agree with you that I think that the criticism of Mourinho is unwarranted, but there is a lot of unrest in the fan base. In that, like, from what I see on the internet, Spurs fans seem to be pretty done with Mourinho at this point.
Yes,
I think that's
everybody is kind of like every game that's like lost here is like. Immediate like meltdown all across. And this is for like every fan base right now. You don't have anything else to do on the weekends besides watch football and stay at home.
Misery.
Yeah, misery. And so it's just compounded.
So
I don't think the hatred towards Mourinho would have been that. It wasn't even that strong last year. They were having similar sort of ups and downs results. Like,
I want to set this up before if and when we move on, but. You nailed a point on City that I didn't think you were going, because when you set that up of City being more equipped than any other team to go to not play in hostile away environments, I thought you were going because no one shows up to their home game, so they don't.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Nobody shows up to their home game.
I thought that's where you were going, and then you went with like an actual, like really thought out technical explanation.
That's why beating City at home in the Champions League is fucking cake. Like, if you win the home game, you're winning the away game. There's no people there.
So quickly before we move on from this,
setting up that joke, and then you went for a technical explanation.
But before we move on from this game, this is the only competition West Ham is playing in for the rest of the season. They're in fourth place right now. They're on a good run of form. Where do they finish?
They finished 10-2 to Bayern Munich next season.
Okay. So you got them in the Champions League.
Really? Champions League? I think
no, absolutely not. They're going to finish like 6th, maybe.
Yeah, I think Europe is reasonable. I don't think Champions League.
Suchek ball has its limits. But it's unfortunate. Suchek ball has its limits.
I don't know.
Right, well, I think that's why Lingard was added, though, because now you have Lingard ball with Suchek ball, which has this.
What is Lingard ball? This is the most Fugazi thing on the planet.
He heard you say Suchek ball, and he was like, "Oh, Lingard ball."
Yeah.
Well, that's a player I can name from West Ham.
Besides my boy Rice.
That's Declan.
Declan
Rice. Let's throw it back.
As long as we're still bringing on Mark Noble, I don't care.
Hey, Mark Noble masterclass against Paul Pogba every year. Write it down. Write it down.
Okay, so you guys have no faith in West Ham.
No, I think they finished like 6th.
No, but I think they deserve to be in the top 4 clown fest that's going to happen.
6th is a really good finish for West Ham. 6th
Yeah,
is an
6th is a
incredibly
fantastic
good finish for West Ham. But let's
I think
keep
it's going to be
moving.
a dogfight for 6 for Everton and West Ham.
Okay.
And then they go to relegation fodder when fans come back next year.
All right, moving on. Let's talk about Southampton and their very, very vital point. The first point they got since January 4th against Chelsea. Or should we talk about how that's a really bad game for Chelsea?
Yeah. More of
That's
the
it?
same.
All right,
We
so
just-
let's talk about
No,
Liverpool
so
and Everton.
It was more of this, like, there was no energy in that game at all. And I think that showed when Tuchel subs on Caleb Hudson-Odoi at halftime. 30 minutes later, yoinks him because he wasn't running.
Do you think that you guys had your eye on Atleti?
I think the team might have. I think, and there were Zuma at the center of a defense. No, he can take Rudy's spot on the left side, but like having him being the focal point, having him being the Thiago person, I just don't think is his best role because he's never been somebody that like puts people or pushes people or is the focal point to kick out of. He's just a really solid defender with a great head.
Bruh, the man in the middle in the back 3 has to be the one that wins all the headers.
But I
Because
think
your other 2 center backs get dragged left and right. So he has to be the one that has to win the headers.
it seemed like you weren't talking about defensively. You were talking
No,
about
that's
from like when you
offense,
had
yeah,
the ball,
correct.
being the distributor.
Because Mendy can't be Mendy's
Yeah.
not a great distributor.
Mendy-
And
Zuma isn't
Zuma's not
either.
a great distributor. That's what I'm saying. Zuma's not a great distributor, and having him as the focal point in the back line when we're playing from the back, I don't think was a great decision. I think Zuma's best pairing is in a backfield of 4, where he can be the other central defender, but doesn't have to worry about positioning and pushing people and moving the ball himself. He just passes it to
But he would
Thiago.
have to do it even if he wasn't a back 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch this game, mostly because I was not going to suffer through Southampton and Chelsea.
I just think Hasenhüttl ended up matching better against Tuchel ball instead of just standing in as like a traffic cone. This plays like press harder, and Takumi Minamino scored a goal, banger.
And that's exactly what they're looking for. Was
Hashtag
one
upset.
counterattack.
Hashtag upset. Well, I mean that's what Hasenhüttl plays. He plays gegenpress, so you got gegenpress.
So
Yeah,
all right.
he's not wrong. For
You're
everything.
right.
Okay. Well,
Are we down to do Liverpool slander now?
yeah, we're here
Yeah.
for that. We're
Oh,
here
yeah.
for Liverpool slander. Go
Get that fat Brazilian out of my club ASAP.
Which one?
It's fucking Firmino. It's the only one.
The man who has a Firmino Stan Twitter account.
Bro, my
wants
fucking
him, man.
dog is named after Firmino.
Oh, I know. The cop is named after Bobby.
No, like it is time to let go. Like
That sounds like what that
thanks
sounds like
for the
rumor.
memories.
Well, I saw like you tweeted something or you retweeted something about players who get up with entertainers, and someone was positing on Twitter that Firmino's an entertainer.
Bruh, no, like
That's what someone said, and you
Firmino wasn't
retweeted
even
it.
good last season. But it just didn't matter because Mane and Salah were still banging in goals left, right, and center.
So you think he's been dead?
Yeah, he's been dead for like 2 years. Dude, Firmino died when he stopped spiking his hair.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that tweet too.
Ever since he stopped doing his hair, and like, he's lost all his will, man. I missed Firmino from 2017.
I texted you this after the game, and you didn't respond because we weren't sure if you just took a dive in the Potomac or not, because you didn't respond to our text messages for like 3 days. But
I killed 3 bottles of Jaeger in 2 days.
It was one of those weekends. Hashtag single life.
Big facts.
But
Good pace, if you ask me.
I messaged you and I said, this feels like it was the perfect time to lose to Everton at home, in that the season's already shit. Your unbeaten run at Anfield was already gone. You might as well rack up all of the most terrible like things that can happen to you in a season. Get all of those in right now, so that you don't have to think about them anymore.
Imagine caring about home records in an empty stadium. Like, functionally, all these stadiums are the same.
I agree with you, but that was something that you lot were kept talking about, was that we hadn't lost since... Because before the United game, you were saying that like the most important thing about the United game was not losing to United at home.
At home.
So now you've had 4 in a row, and it's like, man, that's so such...
But now that we've been smashed by Everton, who cares about home records anymore? Like,
okay, all right, got it.
We adjust goals, all right.
Understood.
We're trying to win the UEFA Conference League next year.
Oh man,
champions of the Conference League. You'll never sing that.
Someone's here for the Super League.
Absolutely. Bring me the European Super League. Did you see that penalty that Everton got? No. Bring me the European Super League. I am sick of this. I have had enough.
Any chance you guys finish in the top 4?
Fuck's sake, top 4.
I gotta ask the questions.
You know what? Honestly, if we don't make top 4, I hope we finish 9th.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that you guys aren't going to finish. This seems like it's a season written all over where you guys finish 5th. And it's just like pain. And hopefully it's 5th and win the Champions League for you, in your position. But it seems like Thursday night in Azerbaijan is on the menu for
you know what,
fall of 2021.
If we get to pimp out Divock Origi to like Kosovo farmers, like then it's gotta be. Then it is what it is. This is the only way we get to get him off the books, and this is what it is.
So I kind of wonder if you guys finish in the Europa League next year, is your disdain for the Europa League, is your no care meter going to be? Are you guys going to care as little as Italian sides care about the Europa League, or don't care about the Europa League?
Oh, dude,
who's going to care?
We're going to treat this like the fucking the League Cup. The same level of disdain as the League Cup.
I forget, Brad, I think you texted us on Thursday about Napoli getting smashed in the Europa League, and I was like, that's just what Italian clubs do in the Europa League. They could not care any less about the Europa League. So I don't know. For me, this kind of has 5th written all over it.
The only club that cares about the Europa League is Sevilla.
I don't know.
And they're still in the top 16.
Arsenal,
they're still in champs.
Arsenal really care about the Europa League this year. Because I don't know if you guys heard it, but Arteta said after the City loss that Thursday was a final for us. That if we don't treat Thursday like a final, then man,
I'm just here for the Steven Gerrard inevitable Europa League win.
I'm not here for that, because that means we didn't win the Europa League.
Yeah, dude, better than Lampard as a player, better than Lampard as a manager. Let's go. What's up?
I mean, I'm all right with that slander.
Yeah, right?
I'm not okay with this timeline, because it means that we are not in the Champions League.
Honestly, I don't even care if Rangers win the Europa League, but if I am begging for Rangers to draw United.
Oh, that
run down the touchline. Kiss the camera again when they win. Let's go!
That would actually be really, really iconic. I would be down for that.
That would make Thursday Night Football interesting. Let's do that.
Okay, well, when we're talking about European football, let's keep talking about European football. Chelsea beat Atletico today with an up.
Told it last week. Like,
Okay.
Atletico were fucking ball jobs. They're not gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, to be fair, this was a freak goal. It was. For those of you who hadn't seen the goal.
Live by the shithouse, die by the shithouse.
Yeah, I guess. Giroud scores.
It was amazing.
Giroud scores an overhead kick from a obviously offside position, to be given offside, only for it to come back that the person who intentionally played the ball was an Athletic player. Therefore, he was onside, and his overhead kick stands. It was kind of an absurd, absurd sequence.
Live by the shithouse, die by the shithouse.
Money Mace misses the ball and Giroud scores.
I don't even think Mace missed the ball. I think they both were kicking it. But I'm going to complain for a moment about the UEFA's production here of VAR. It was god awful. Like, instead of showing,
I think it's because it's Romania. Honestly, I think it's because it's in Romania. As somebody who works in TV production, like that shit's from sight. And I feel like that's exclusively because it's from Romania.
Why is the VAR center in Romania?
No, but like the production of those cameras are all done for the guy who's going to be
where the game is.
That VAR footage into your replays is a guy that's sitting in a truck right outside the stadium.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the capacity to do it.
Okay, well, I am disappointed.
He pushed the right buttons for the game just because we didn't get replay.
He's just doing his best. All right,
well, he needs to get let go because the best was not very good.
He was on a cigarette.
I need a.
He might be the best there though. Like,
I can switch through scenes on a really terribly produced podcast. Okay, I think he can pipe in the VAR cameras, please.
You think UEFA can get that money there?
I think they can find somebody that can do it.
It's some guy in a truck outside the stadium,
bro. TV production trucks are really dope. I wish I had a TV production truck.
Do you want a TV production truck in Romania? Have you seen?
I was going to say you're acting like this is ESPN, brother. This is probably like an actual like S10, and he's just on a laptop. That's his truck.
I refuse to accept this timeline that you guys are slandering this, that you guys are defending this guy just because he's in Romania. I refuse to accept this.
It's like a 1993 Mazda short bed.
UEFA sends the equipment.
No, it's a Toyota, bro. It's Eastern Europe.
It's a 93 Tacoma.
Okay.
Yes.
We're moving on from slandering Romanian people.
Tacoma. It's a fucking Izumi, bro.
Liverpool's currently up 2-0 on Leipzig.
That's a big win.
Yeah, last week was big. You guys, both these teams are clearly going through. City play. Who do they play? Tomorrow or this weekend? It's a German team.
Oh, they play Gladbach.
Yeah, they're gonna smash them.
They should.
About 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah. Other than that, oh yeah. But Spanish football completely dead, which is cool.
Oh yeah, the world has progressed past the need for Spanish football.
I'm all about Atalanta slapping
Real Madrid
up and down tomorrow. That would be
up and down tomorrow.
I'd be all about
that. Also, Juventus are going out. Shout out to your brother if he's listening.
I wouldn't put any bets on that yet.
I am betting the house. They're not going through.
I think that's a foolish bet. I think that Juve still goes through. But anyway. So the Champions League for you guys seems really good. I don't see, unless Luis Suarez goes crazy in London, which I guess is possible. It doesn't seem like Atleti had anything. Clearly, Liverpool aren't going to lose a two away goal advantage against Leipzig.
Want to bet?
We both paused
your house again.
You seen the form?
Your house again?
Yeah.
Tottenham is up 4-1 on Wolfsburg. You guys are clearly going through because you have 4 away goals. The one game that's probably not going to go my way, Benfica is probably going to score a goal in the 93rd minute on Thursday and win 1-0 in Athens to progress past Arsenal in the Europa League, and then I'm just not going to be here next week.
So Benfica has the away goal advantage?
No, Arsenal have the away goal advantage right now.
Okay, sorry, that's what I was asking.
So last season, Arsenal beat Olympiacos 1-0 in Greece, and then when Olympiacos came to England and beat Arsenal, but they scored a goal in the 93rd minute or something, or the 91st minute or something like that. And then Aubameyang missed an empty net 30 seconds later. And then as a parting shot, Olympiacos gave everybody in Arsenal COVID.
And then they all got COVID.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So not only did they knock us out of the Champions League, but they also killed English football for 4 months. Shout out to Olympiacos, which is the stadium that the Arsenal Benfica game's being played as, Olympiacos' stadium. So this has nothing good written all over it for Arsenal, and we're going to again be lamenting the fact that Aubameyang and Saka missed sitters in the last match.
But Willian Masterclass.
What was that?
Willian Masterclass.
Oh, man.
It's coming.
Bring him on. Start him.
There's no way. Please do not
start him.
Can we please get a copy of his contract? Because I think Sean's correct in that he has to play every game.
It's in his contract, dude.
I don't
He's
think
an
I want to see
appearance clause.
I think
I'm convinced, yeah.
Maybe there's an incentive that he gets paid less if he plays so many games. And so Arteta is trying to save the club some money.
He's trying to burn through 3 seasons worth of starts for him, 3 seasons worth of games.
Maybe it's an appearance cap. He signed a 3-year contract, but he can only appear 75 times for the club over those 3 years at 75 games. The contract.
He's trying to get it all out in one season.
Tank it. Get him out of here.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. A man can hope, though. But
he's probably out in the shop window every time he comes on for 30 minutes, hoping some Chinese billionaire will buy him.
Please, Shanghai
Evergrande.
Yeah, please, Inter Miami, please, anyone. But
Charlotte FC.
Charlotte. Yeah, you guys need a retired Brazilian to come play for you. Let's talk about these games coming up this weekend. So I was looking at the games coming up, and I said, okay, that's a good game. That could be a good game. I literally on our rundown, I put every single game, for one reason or the other. But just quickly, City play West Ham. That's first versus fourth. Leeds play Villa. That's going to be a goal fest. Leicester play Arsenal. We're clearly talking about that because Brendan Rodgers has some voodoo over Arsenal. Chelsea United, that's kind of in the last 20 years since Chelsea became a football club, that's been a big rivalry, or a big game in English football. Got a couple trap games. Burnley has a trap game against Spurs. Sheffield has a trap game against Liverpool, and Everton has a trap game against Southampton. But then we have 3 relegation games, important relegation games. West Brom play Brighton and Hove, Newcastle play Wolves, and Palace play Fulham. Literally any one of those 10 games deserves being talked about for one reason or another from a story perspective.
This is a really good
clearly we're not going to talk about
stories.
We're not going to talk about all 10 games.
Yeah, because some of them are easy to predict.
Of course.
City smacking West Ham for 4.
Of course,
is predictable.
But did you guys hear that Villa banned its players and staff from playing FPL because that's how the Grealish injury got out?
Yeah,
they dropped it for the teams.
Brad's talking about the fantasy
Premier League. I'm sorry. Yeah, for the Fantasy Premier League because they all dropped Grealish and that's how the injury got out.
Yeah.
That's
stupid.
How?
It is.
If I was
Brendan Rodgers. Oh no, continue. Go ahead.
If I was a Villa player and one of my teammates did that, I would be so unreasonably upset with them. Like it's not really like a big deal like that the injury got out, but like the stupid manner in which it got out, because players are playing fantasy football and dropped him from their team so they could score more points on fantasy football. Like,
Yeah.
come on, like I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
That's also fully the reason I think. You remember the Manchester derby when Rashford could have scored, but he chose to dive instead of scoring?
Yeah.
Right? I fully believe it's because he has Bruno captained on his fucking fantasy team.
That was your comment afterwards, I think.
Right? Like, I fully believe it's because he has Bruno captained on his fantasy team. There was no reason. He could have scored.
I remember you bringing that up.
Right?
He was saved by the fact that he was offside.
Right? Brendan Rodgers is a cursed man. See, he wants to play this like beautiful, expansive, we hold the ball for 90% of the time sort of game. And he's always stuck in teams that are just tailor-made to play counter-attacking football with as little possession as possible. That's why he looks miserable every game, even though he's winning.
He sounds good being miserable, at least.
We show the character, okay?
That's true.
The boys show character today.
He's going to slap Arsenal. Arsenal are going to lose like 3-0.
Oh yeah.
And
Jamie Vardy's having a party.
We can't, for whatever reason, Leicester is our boogeyman, and we never play well against Leicester. This has a red card written all over it for someone. Jacques has been having some iffy performances recently. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sent off. Bellerin maybe. Maybe Bellerin. Hector's had some shithouse going on. That could come up. Brad, what's going to happen to the Chelsea United game?
Chelsea keeps up its form. That's better. United.
Oh, United? Oh, yeah. It's going to be 0-0. The most dire 0-0 we're going to see all weekend. Like, eye-gouging 0-0.
Really?
And then
I'm taking.
we're going to get battered by Sheffield.
I'm taking a 3-0 in the Chelsea United game.
To who?
United.
United?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
I got.
But I think 0-0.
That's a bold call saying there's going to be 3 penalties.
Edison Cavani is going to go ham on Chelsea.
A Bruno dive.
It's possible.
Bruno hat trick from the spot, huh?
It's possible. I'd actually be okay with that. That would be incredibly hilarious.
Bruno captain on fantasy league.
Yes. Keep my captain on him.
These trap games. Okay, sorry. Yeah, Brad, go ahead.
I mean, I think Chelsea wins. I think we're still playing well. Or we played well today, and if we keep that same form, plus United plays before us, I mean, they're winning 4-0, so they're probably not trotting out anybody. But I think Chelsea wins 1-0.
I mean, so you guys play Tuesday, United play Thursday, and the game's Sunday?
Yeah.
Thursday, Sunday's not that bad.
And also they're up 4-0 on aggregate, so they're not playing anybody against
and I think the game's in England this weekend. I don't know. Maybe they had to travel for restriction purposes. I don't remember. But, yeah, they're going to play the children, or a mixture of the children and Pogba. And it won't be a thing. I don't know. I just it seems like
we're getting battered. This is a trap game for Sheffield.
That's what I said.
We're getting fucking battered by Sheffield United because we've been cyberbullying them all season, and it's about time they get the villains get their comeuppance. It's about time we got our comeuppance from Chris Wilder.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, how many points does Chris Wilder have right now? What is it like? He's got 11 points.
11 points. 11. Yeah.
I think he still only has 3 subs. But okay, you have no confidence in that game.
Absolutely not. We're getting hammered.
So this game is probably on Saturday. Or
Sunday.
It's on Sunday, and then do you guys play Wednesday in the Champions League?
Yeah, we play Wednesday in the Champions League.
That's not bad. Well, I guess maybe Klopp might protect some midfielders. Well, I guess you guys don't have any players that you can't protect. Everyone's injured.
Everybody has to play. Yeah.
All right. What was that?
Champions League isn't. I was gonna say Champions League isn't until the 10th
For you.
for Liverpool too. We play Liverpool next, March 4th. So Sunday, Thursday. I'm looking at Liverpool's schedule right now.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Maybe there's a week gap between.
Yeah, because we have like 4 games. Chelsea's got like a heck of a. It's like United, Liverpool.
And then we play Chelsea
Everton, Leeds.
4th.
Yeah.
Sunday, March 7th, we play Fulham, and then we play Leipzig. So yeah, there's a week.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to, because like we play them Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And then and then it's Everton, Leeds, and then we go back. Then we play Atleti at home. So.
Oh, that's right. They do the Europa League draws on a Monday, right? That's why there's always a week off in between.
Oh,
so
okay.
We got to do your draws.
I don't know.
They keep us all from playing.
I don't remember how the Champions League operates. It's been so long. Anything interesting you guys think could happen in these relegation games?
I
think Brighton have been playing awesome. I mean Brighton should smash West Bromwich. They've been playing really good.
That one's the least interesting of the 3.
I'm with you.
I think.
Newcastle.
Brighton
are the most annoying team because they should be scoring way more than they are.
Brad, stop messing with the rundown.
I fixed it. I almost messed up the timeline.
But I'm sorry, Tamsin, I apologize. What were you saying? Okay.
His dog's barking. He can't talk.
Ah, okay. I got it. He must see somebody outside that she needs to go bite. So the most interesting game here, I think, is Newcastle Wolves. If Wolves beat Newcastle, which they should, and then Fulham beat Palace, equal on points at 25, Fulham go above Newcastle on goal difference. That would be
Palace or Newcastle tank job.
That would be.
If fucking Newcastle go down, I want Alan St. Maxim.
I think if Newcastle go down, we all need to send a case of beer to Sean for calling that like 2 months ago.
Yeah, he's got a case of Newcastle beer.
Yeah. I will take that because I watched them. I was forced through one of their games about 4 or 5 weeks ago and thought this is the worst team in the league other than Sheffield.
Yeah, that would be something else.
Yeah, my buddy, Newcastle fan, would agree with you.
That starts Joe Linton and Andy Carroll up top together deserves relegation. Like, Steve Bruce will never see heaven. That is terrorism of the highest order. Like, he'll never see it.
I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Almiron.
Almiron.
All right. I think I was trying too hard the first time and then got it right the second. His eyes look like mine every time I watch Newcastle. He's always like, his eyes are really wide.
You gotta take your glasses off and do that again because
it's just, his eyes look like mine do every time I watch Newcastle. Like, why is this allowed on TV?
I would love for the timeline where Newcastle loses this weekend, but my boy Joe Willock and is going to carry them to a victory this weekend, I think. I don't know.
Got it.
Unlikely. Yeah, so I think that's the most interesting of those games, at least in the relegation.
Leeds play somebody really good.
Villa.
Leeds play Villa. Oh, yeah. That's
Leeds play Villa, yeah. That's going to be a great game.
Villa's going to be a good game. That's probably the game of the weekend.
Yeah, it's Leeds.
I would say so. If you get to watch one game, it's Leeds Villa.
Yeah, I had a ball today watching Leeds.
Right? Like,
I just had fun.
Rafinha needed at my club ASAP.
I think I texted the group where I was just like, "Wow!" After watching so much Spurs, this is what it's like to enjoy watching football again, huh? This is fun. I remember this feeling.
I don't.
Meanwhile, Pochettino's out here battering Barcelona.
That was I'm all for it.
I am all for if PSG win. Pochettino deserves.
I wouldn't mind PSG winning the Champions League only for the slander that goes to
for the ha-has. Yeah, that'd be real funny. Wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, he's battering Barcelona with Angel Di Maria and Kurzawa. on the team. Like, I don't know what he's pulling off over there, but he's doing it.
I mean, he also has Kylian Mbappe and
Neymar.
Yeah, well, I conveniently left that one out.
the small player. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
Neymar is missing his sister's birthdays.
Yeah,
he's Neymar's in Brazil.
He's
so
taking his
he'll be
requisite
back.
4 weeks off at this time of year for a foot injury.
Yeah, every year.
Every year. Every year without fail. He really loves his sister and doesn't ever want to miss a birthday party, I guess. But I think that's all we got. I think that's all we got for the people tonight. But
That's a good week.
yeah, but so that next to me at KSBradG, get at him on Twitter. Below me at whiteheart_Sean. Diagonally.
That's only until I find out
something
the name of Leeds Stadium,
something
and then it'll be
interesting about
that.
Leeds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ellen Road.
Ellen Road, yeah.
Ellen Road.
As an aside, did you know that didn't Spurs sell Leeds the turf in the transfer
Grass.
window? The
Yes,
grass.
they were playing on our grass today, and it hadn't quite took.
Yeah, they laid it a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I digress.
Or not today, but yeah.
Diagonally from me is at Firmino's dentist. He's
Hey guys.
send
Hey
him all of your pain. Okay, and Brad's got our Snapple fact of the day, please.
What was the number one song out when Arsenal last won the Premier League?
May of 04. Sounds like a cool
03?
04.
03? So Google 03.
May of 04. Do you know Invincible season happened?
Bro.
Oh,
So you got the wrong stat.
well, I'll find it in a second. It's easy. Thanks. Still the same question?
Pain.
Fix it.
So much
I
pain.
think it's some Kanye West song.
This is
dude.
high quality production here. We're professionals.
Quality production of these Snapple facts.
This is the Romanian.
Yeah.
This is the Romanian TV truck production here.
That's KSBradG is.
All right, Brad.
It's some
So who
Kanye
was the number
song.
one song in 2004 then?
Usher, yeah.
I'm still.
There we go.
It was the biggest song all year.
It wasn't
That
this the
was
same
the-
question you asked us? Like, wasn't Usher the number one song the last time you asked us one of these questions?
It was for it was a different one. It was last time Tottenham won a trophy in 2008. He had a different song then.
Brad, I need you to diversify your Snapple facts. These are
Billboard facts.
lackluster, and you need to get your baseline shit talk right, and figuring out how you're going to attack somebody. But okay, that's it. That's red. That's red card.
Since he flopped, I got one.
Okay.
There's a list of the 40 worst flops of signings in the Premier League history. I just wanted to point out that the third one was a free transfer. That's how bad it was.
Is number one Alexis Sanchez to Manchester United?
No, this number 3 was Ali Dijon to Southampton, free transfer.
Oh, Ali Dia, let's go!
Number 1 was Shevchenko, by the way.
Masterclass, Ali Dia, let's go! Ali Dia, basically, Ali Dia's story is that he, because back then, like, transfers weren't as, like, detailed as they are now, so Ali Dia was basically like, hey, I'm Georgia Way's cousin.
That's
And nobody decided to, like, double check this!
right.
So, Graham Souness signed him to Southampton, and then Graham Souness played him for 4 minutes, and then took him off immediately.
And don't you figure this out in training? All right, that's all. I apologize to everyone who had to listen to the last 3 minutes of this. You're never going to get that time back, and I'm sorry. But please come back next week because we need you. But this has been...
I'm going to turn my Twitter account to an Ali Dia fan account. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, this is Red Card Radio at redcard_radio. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button or whatever it is I don't know about, but just do
Hit that bell icon. The bell icon.
Do those things and send us comments and all that good stuff. But this was our look at the Premier League after match day 25. We'll be back at you next week with our look at the Premier League after match day 26. Good night. We love you.